Viral when I tweeted, Kamala is brat from a toilet in Taco Fresco's, which left everyone from your mum to Jake Tapper wondering, what is brat? So, to explain, our first segment is brat or not. Hunter Biden's laptop, brat. Mark Robinson's search history, nah.
Political jokes flying. That was SNL's Bowen Yang playing Charlie XCX, making a joke about Harris and her campaign being brat, which is the singer's term for something good, as you may have heard. We are joined by Democratic strategist Aisha Mills. Welcome back.
Hey, good to be here.
Great to have you. We showed earlier tonight before Kornacki's numbers how Kamala Harris is getting the endorsements you might expect, New York Times, and ones that would be unthinkable 10 years ago, Bush's Gonzalez and Cheney. Where does that fit into the story she's trying to tell the country right now?
Perfectly, because she's saying, look, at the end of the day, I am trying to unite America. I want to bring together all people. I want to represent the fullness of the United States of America and all the people, even if we don't always agree. That's what I want to do. And the fact that you're seeing so many folks who are completely ideologically opposed to many of her policy measures come out and say, you are the person that should represent and reflect us, and we can work with you. That's exactly what she's trying to do with this campaign. So I think that all these endorsements are really aligned with the strategy.
You can tell a lot about where things are from Saturday Night Live, like what the punchlines do. You know, and so if you're really political or partisan and you see, oh, your side's getting knocked more than the other, but this is the 50th year. This is a big open. We're going to show some more from it where basically they're talking to the whole country about what people recognize, what makes sense. And so the jokes in that sense are interesting. The cold open had not only the usuals, it had some new characters with new or returning actors coming back in to do it. Let's take a look.
Well, look who fell out of that coconut tree.
I haven't been this excited since I got a 10% rebate on a leaf blower from Menards.
Tim is not the only white dude for Harris here today. It's my husband, Doug.
Teach me how to juggle. Teach me how to juggle. Teach me how to juggle.
Let's get crazy, sexy, cool, and play some TLC.
Let's see how it's going now with Donald Trump at his rally, which is entering its third hour.
Where are you going? I see you trying to leave, but the doors are locked.
Get on out here to Biden.
No joke. I'm being serious right now. Come on. And guess what? And by the way,
we can end the dramala. And the tromala. And go relax in our pajamas.
Shout out to Pajamas. The thing I want to ask you is to do the political analysis of the jokes. So the jokes about Kamala and Doug are that she's a little goofy and he's a little over the top supporting her. The jokes about Donald Trump were even his own fans won't sit through his rallies anymore, that he's sort of just boring.
Boring and angry and self-absorbed. And I think that's what we're seeing on display here with these jokes. You've got Kamala, who's got people, right? She's got family. She's got a husband. She loves him. He loves her. A running mate who obviously is a family kind of guy, a coach, a community-oriented person. You're seeing on display, I think, something that's going to resonate with voters. That is that the Democrats are actually of the people and they're human, right? They're a little bit goofy, right, and awkward, just like your auntie is. But they're human and they're normal. And then you have this rally with Trump, who, for all intents and purposes, is speaking to himself. He just likes to hear himself talk. And when he's realizing that no one else is watching him, he just gets a little more blustery, a little louder, but he's not saying things that are coherent. And I think that that is old now. Maybe two cycles ago people liked it, but it's old now.
You didn't find him talking about his beach body to be coherent?
Thought that it was a hilarious spoof and a joke, but something that actually really probably happens on the campaign trail, right? That was also the irony of it, is that they're so on the nose with these jokes that you have to wonder, are they even jokes sometimes, especially when it comes to the things that Donald Trump has to say.
And then the point I alluded to early in the hour is a lot of this stuff is harder than it looks. And I mentioned whether you're a citizen or a public official or in the press, what do you think of how people are trying to deal with what the New York Times calls the dangerous darkening mood at his rallies, without overreacting to it? Because just because he lied about something doesn't mean that the outrage should then make that the issue of the week.
You know, what's taken hold of me, just as a voter, right? Forget being a Democratic strategist. I have been so moved by the joyful energy on one side of the campaign. If for no other reason, America has been under some darkness for the last several years. And we're still kind of coming out of the COVID trauma of it all. So when they did the joke about the trauma, right, is going to be over, there is something that we've all been feeling that's been very heavy. And having a campaign that brings out music and fun and joyfulness and laughter and love and relationships and all those things has felt good. Contrast with Trump, that still makes us all feel pretty bad. The things that come out of his mouth are really horrible and despicable. And the overall tone of the campaign is quite vile. And we're just depressed when we hear him. And I think that in and of itself is just a contrast that they can't fix because it's who he is. And it's why the mood we see is shifting. Has nothing to do with what is happening around policy perspectives, but just the energy changes everything.